Hello and welcome to another LOTRO plugins video with me, Balthelion, and today we are going to be discussing the larger dressing room window, which is, strictly speaking, it's not a plugin, it's actually a skin. And it's created by a guy called Wiki71, who I believe got the idea from somebody else, whose name I don't quite remember. But it basically just gives you a larger dressing room so you can kind of see your previews for your characters a bit better than normal. Because normally the dressing room window is roughly about the same as the character panel there, so your character is relatively small, and you'd have your buttons on the side to do bits and pieces, but if you're trying to look at the details on the armour and that, it's not particularly great. Versus what I've got at the minute, where if I was to say preview on my shield, I've got a slightly bigger window, because normally it would have been literally about the height of this menu here, so maybe just like cutting across that kind of size, so it's kind of maybe 4 times the screen space there, or give or take, but it just means you can see the detail on your armour a bit better and just kind of like customise your cosmetics. But all this involves basically is downloading an XML skin file basically. I'll put the link to the download in the description, so have a look down there if you need it, and all you have to do is then take that to your My Documents folder, for whatever user you're currently logged in as, and if you're running LOTRO for multiple user accounts on one PC, you will need to do it per user. So on a Windows 7 and above, it would be C drive, users, whatever your name is, documents, and inside that there'll be the Lord of the Rings online folder, and then inside there you should have obviously one folder for plugins, which we've been using previously, but there's also one called skins, and you might need to create that folder yourself. And inside there then there'll be the options for the larger dressing room and so on and so forth. So all you have to do is plonk that in there. There'll be installation instructions on the page that I'm going to link you guys to on LOTROinterface.com, and I'll probably stick some simple guidelines inside the description as well for installing it. But once you've got it installed, you need to go into your options. You need to go to the UI settings and then scroll all the way down to where it's got MISC and it's got a current user skin. And if you're really lazy, you could probably just type it in the search and you'll find it even easier. But originally, if I have to scroll all the way down now, so it's somewhere near the bottom, there we go. So you change that from none down to your larger dressing room skin. Now the catch is, because this is a skin, if you have some kind of UI customization already, so for example, like you can reskin all your skill bars down here to look like a hobbit hole and things like that. This wouldn't work with that. You may be able to somehow combine the two if you're going to be particularly tech savvy, but it's probably beyond most people, so I won't go into too much detail about that. But there you go. So I've been using this for ages, like to the extent that I've kind of almost like forgotten that it is a plugin basically, because I'm just so used to having this. But I find this a lot nicer than having like a smaller window. I mean, you could technically customize the thing that you download, the file you download, to reposition some of these buttons if you preferred, and I think you may even be able to like make the window bigger. Hopefully it would scale your character accordingly, but you know, if you want to have a little play around with some of the numbers, because it is just, you know, X and Y coordinates and widths and heights and stuff, you could certainly have a little play around. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed that, and stay tuned for more plugin and skin videos later. See you guys later.